Let's get on back." He stepped forward and snatched the bag of cake out of her hands, almost knocking her over if she hadn't been standing right next to her husband, who held her arm. "You're welcome." Her voice rang clear throughout the spring afternoon, and Tom Daly did nothing but grin as he gripped at the cake. "I heard tell of a young one coming, Virgil. Must have had a mighty amount of fun with that. I hear tell that the woods are full of danger at this time of day, gentlemen. You best get going." Virgil rested his hand on his pistol, and she knew he made sure Tom Daly saw where his hand was. "Well, indeed. We would be expecting a visit from our representative before you get on back to Atlanta, and his smart Yankee missus is always welcome." He made an exaggerated movement and bowing to her, and her lunch roiled in her stomach, wanting to come back up again. "Good day. Let Mrs. Daly know we are concerned for her health." Mandy nodded and spoke quietly. Thankfully, some of the smaller Baxter boys brought the horses out for their unwelcome guests, so they could leave that much sooner. Amanda's eyes met the kindly blue ones of Lucy Milford and knew she had cued the boys to retrieve the horses. "Wonderful voting day," Tom Daly said as he seated in his horse. "Be seeing you." Virgil said nothing, but his attention focused on the leave-taking of the men, and waited until the sound of their horses' hooves had retreated completely from Milford. "While we vote, I want a man on each corner of the town square with his gun to keep the area protected. When it's your turn, you can come back, and someone will cover you to vote." Kala and Isaac moved with more purpose and intent in retrieving the items the first time around, and Kala opened the book to the freshly inscribed page with 2 names on it. Virgil intoned, "When you have your say in the government, know that you are a man. These are the actions of men, and that you are men. We don't need outsiders telling us about our manhood." Tom Kirchner sat down beside Kala and helped her keep the tally, signatures, and votes straight as 54 other males in the Milford Town Square voted, signed as best as they could, swiftly and without incident. Praise God. Now she could stand back and watch the dancing. His heart sank a bit when someone brought out some musical instruments and they began to push back the tables for dancing. Amanda's pink skirt still swirled amongst everyone else's and made her stand out, like a pretty rose of some kind, but he didn't want to pick her if she didn't want to be picked. Had they ever danced together? Ever? He didn't remember, ashamed to admit he had never held his wife in his arms and moved together with music. He moved forward to take her hand in his and stop her organizing, but Lakey got to her first. Because Kala had started dancing, Jack Kirchner was left with the voting ledger and box alone. Friedman's bureau or not, he didn't know Kirchner, so he went to see to the security of the items with him. Fortunately, it was a square dance, and Lakey didn't have to touch Mandy or anything, but instead, she whirled about the town square, making it look alive and vibrant again, all because she was there. He turned to see how the Milford sisters took all of it in, but Lucy sat with her son, holding him to her and helping him clap his baby hands along with the music while Clara frowned.